If you're having paranormal issues, contact us at mwghosthunters.com. From the files of the Midwest Ghost Hunters.
All right, Midwest Ghost Hunters site investigation, recorder 1.
Oh, Dustin, right there. Something just moved behind you.
Yes, it did. What the was that?
What happened?
Something touched my ear, man.
What's that?
This is Dark Matter with Midwest Ghost Hunters.
We thought we'd start off today. So we got an email, and his name was Scott. And we just got it. Man, I think we just got it we got it yesterday evening. So he emailed us and said, have you all ever heard of Seven Daughters Road near Nebraska City, Nebraska? He said he loves listening to the podcast, and we keep him company when he's on the road. So, Scott, thank you for listening. And I actually have heard of Seven Daughters Road. I don't know much about it until I just looked it up here. I've heard of it before, kind of like you've heard of any haunted location. What is
Waverly Hills?
Waverly, yeah. I was going to say, what's that damn place in Kentucky? Waverly. And, everybody's heard of Waverly, but not a lot of people have direct experience with it.
Melissa has.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have been there.
I have.
So one of us has direct experience with that one.
Yeah, Melissa and her ghost buddy went they got in the ghost elevator and the morgue and all that stuff.
The morgue freezer.
Yeah. Now we're going to get off on a side thing here, but did they allow you to do EVPs and record? Were you in a group or by yourselves?
We just went with the public overnight, and that's 60 people, but the place is so big that you don't realize you're there with 60 people.
So did you get any recordings there?
Oh gosh. There's one room that had two sisters that stayed in it, and we got a couple of voices in that space, but and then the old operating room, we had some stuff.
I'm sorry, there was a...
You didn't hear it? Yeah.
I didn't hear
Just
it.
right when you were talking, it's like...
Yeah, I was looking around, and there was no one here. So
the old surgical room is pretty creepy because it has the lights and it has the old autoclave. There's a lot of stuff in that room, and there's all kinds of weird stuff in there.
Waverly Hills is like the gold standard of paranormal activity. It's so huge and so active. That's the only reason why I even brought it up as an example. But what this guy is talking about in Nebraska is probably lesser known. The, what did I say it was called? Damn, I am not prepared today. The
Seven Daughters? Is that what you said? No, seven something.
Shit.
Seven Bridges Road?
No, that's all I can think of is Seven Daughters Road. Okay, so yeah, it's a Seven Daughters Road in Nebraska, and I have heard of it. I probably read it in one of the books or something. But Seven Daughters Road is in Nebraska. It's on L Road, and supposedly what happened there just kind of hit what Scott emailed us about. It's an unpaved road through a hilly region. Supposedly what happened there is a farmer who lived out there went nuts one night and hung his daughters one by one on tree limbs. And supposedly you can hear the screams. I don't know how well you can scream when you're being hung. I'd have to look into the physiology and physics of that particularly. Supposedly, it says you can hear the screams and moans as they died. I don't think you can scream when you're being hung, not to throw a wrench in it.
Maybe it's the other sisters realizing what's going to happen to them.
Oh, that could be. That's a good point. That could be, because you couldn't hang all seven at once. You can find videos of, supposed EVPs they've captured out there. If you look, we can't play those here because they're not our property, but you can look them up for yourself and find those, the EVPs of the screams that they catch out there. But that's pretty cool. I mean, that's one thing we haven't really done, and there's a reason why. We did get asked at one point, if you guys remember, a year or two, I don't even remember.
The road in Branson?
Yeah, that road down in Branson, which, had a particularly interesting, the guy had a really good story that went with it. I can't remember exactly.
It was when it gets foggy, you go back up it, and supposedly a house appears.
Yeah, that's all I remembered from it was whenever, they were walking along the road, they saw a house with lights in it, with lights inside that were turned on. And, they were seeing figures in the fog. And then when they went back the next day, there's no house even there. And so we looked up that particular road in Branson, and it did have a lot of tales, kind of like what this guy's talking about here, like Scott's talking about with this Seven Daughters Road. And that would be the kind of thing that would be interesting to investigate, but also a pain in the ass to investigate. I mean, all you have to do is see our Mars Hill investigation to see why.
I am glad I was not available for that after listening to that.
The Spiders and Hillbillies?
Yeah, no, I'm glad I was not there.
Yeah, even without the debacle that was going on there because of the all the forces that were happening, Mars Hill would be a very difficult place anyway, because there's so many animals, there's so many things out there. How do you know that the footsteps you're hearing are not a cow or something else?
And that's the point. Yeah, that's the point I'm making with why we haven't really explored, going to this road in Branson. Number one, because it's hard. It's hard to do an outside investigation. There's no, you can't control anything at all. So, even in a cemetery, it's even when you're, that's why we try to control when we went to Mars Hill a little bit by going as remote as humanly possible to eliminate, human interference. And we didn't even succeed at that. That was one of the reasons why we didn't really explore, that too much. But anyway, thanks for the email, Scott. We appreciate that. We appreciate you listening while you're on the road too. Well, another thing we're going to do here we should catch everybody up. We've talked before, if you've listened to the podcast, extensively, we've talked about Ashley's house in Springfield, Missouri. We've been there three, I don't remember now. It was during COVID when everything was locked down.
We've been there 3 times because I've been there twice and you guys went once without me.
We did?
Yeah.
The first time. That's right. So yeah, we went to this place, to Ashley's house during the COVID lockdown. Number one, because it was very difficult to get an investigation at that time. It was very difficult to justify coming, a bunch of strangers stomping around in someone's house, with what we knew then about, COVID going around. We didn't know much. We didn't, people weren't very open, understandably letting us come in, but Ashley was. She didn't care. So we did her house. That was Marvin, right?
That was Marvin.
Okay. So we did Ashley's house because she was fine with us coming. And so we just did her house a few times over the course of that year and a half or whatever that we were locked down. So we went like 3 times. And every time we went, we caught more stuff. So she has she's done some remodeling there since we've been there. It's been a long time since we've been there.
Did you get the growl from Ashley's house for the garage? Because it was not, okay.
Did I get it as in, do I have it queued up?
Right. I did not know if you had moved it to where you could get access to it again.
No, I don't have access to it. It's on the old podcast. That's the only place I can get it.
Okay, never mind.
And it lived on the computer at the radio station. Remember?
Okay.
It was one of those tracks there.
Okay.
So
I'll have to find it.
So if we can find a copy of the old podcast, I can pull it off there. As far as its original sourcing, I don't know where the hell it went. But anyway, every time we went to Ashley's house, we had more stuff happen there. There's a whole cast of voices and what, I don't know if it doesn't even sound human, the growling that that we've captured out there. But we've talked to Ashley and she wants us to come back because there's a lot of she's got some new stuff happening, more figure sightings inside the house, and more sounds happening, and
more snaps.
I didn't mention snaps.
No, the snaps actually left.
Oh, well, I just have to bring this up. I had a very nice, one of our listeners, Leanne, came and saw me on a tour. I know I haven't been here in like 2 months because I've been working, but she came on one of my tours. She's a lovely lady, and she's Team Snap. She hears all the snaps that I do, and that Dustin does. So
How long is your tour?
An hour and a half.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-hour tour.
So Ashley's house is the first place we ever heard the snapping type EVPs. That was the first place we ever caught them, and we catch a bunch of them there. So I don't know. What we're going to do is on the next podcast, we're going to call Ashley and have her on the podcast to kind of tell us what's been going on there before we go out there, to her house and do the investigation.
What was your for Ashley's house minus the unknown guy that kind of came back in? Because I know we'll all remember that. What's the one that stood out the most for you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I think the one where, as far as EVPs go, and I'm kind of looking through here trying to find it as I talk.
One of them that we didn't really talk a whole lot about. Remember whenever Tyler went upstairs to look and see if he could crawl through the crawl space that was there, and there was something like I'm here, something.
Yeah, something from the hallway.
My favorite part was when Tyler was peeing in the bathroom and something.
Yeah, that was excellent. That was excellent.
I actually found the one that I was going to mention.
Do we have audio of that?
Yeah, we do. You mean of Tyler peeing?
Yeah.
Screams, I can't get it open.
Yeah, the door. Yes. So as far as my favorite one goes, I really liked the one where the voice said, "Is anybody there?"
Yeah, that was good
because
too.
It was clearly coming from what sounded like the garage area. I can actually play that one here if we want. I could play any of these. As a matter of fact, we could just do like a wrap up of Ashley's if we want to.
Do you remember the story she told us about the creature she saw
kneeling at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah.
We got an EVP of that too.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was like a little She described it as like this very small, like a
gremlin type thing, yeah.
Gremlin or a goblin.
Which is interesting because whenever we were at Ashley's house that time and you were sitting on that couch, whenever we saw something move behind the couch, it looked like...
That was great.
I can't say it looked like a gremlin because I couldn't see any features or anything. It looked like a shadow, but it moved really quick. And my thought was, I think we even mentioned it's like a little gnome or gremlin type thing just ducked behind the couch there.
Yeah, that was best. That was awesome.
I like Ashley, and I don't want to say I didn't believe her. That was a very interesting claim. But then after we go there and we hear everything we've heard, I don't not believe it.
As she's telling us about that claim, and it's interesting, I wanted Melissa to hear it because you had mentioned you caught a screeching sound here at Pythian Castle, right?
Yeah, last Tuesday.
And then while Ashley was telling us about that thing you're talking about, we did catch a screeching sound in the background of it. We caught an EVP there. So I'll have to look through here. There's a bunch from Ashley's place.
I think it'd be a good idea to play some of the Ashley stuff.
Yeah, I was going to.
People may not be familiar with her.
And the reason we're playing it is because we're going back there. And every time we go back, it's different. It's different every single time. As far as, I don't think we've ever not caught anything there. I mean, the last time we went, there were more aggressive sounds than ever. I'm trying to think if anything actually physically moved while we were there. I keep confusing our Republic House we did with this one, but that was something different, and I can't remember.
I don't remember anything actually moving at Ashley's house. I remember there was a lot of stuff.
Well, we caught a shadow on video there.
Oh, that's true. That in the living room, we did get that. We caught a lot of shadow movement at Ashley's house there, but I was kind of surprised with the amount of audio we caught in her kitchen area.
I know the kitchen and living room area both. We caught a lot there.
The sex ghost was upstairs at Ashley's house.
I forgot about the sex ghost.
Yeah, the sex ghost was in there. We had a sex ghost after Chris.
That's right.
I was with you, so there's no pointing. What happened?
You heard that?
You want to hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
What does it sound like?
Was that not her picking up a?
No, it was a female whispering.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I didn't.
She's back.
Well, it could be.
She's back for Chris.
Yeah. The sex ghost likes Chris.
Why is that a rim shot?
What, don't you have some bow chicka wow wow?
Let's see here.
No, you need something a little more 70s groovy.
Yeah.
There you go. Closer.
I actually like that one. That's a good song.
Good song. Okay, I do want to play this EVP because we were talking about our favorite ones from there, and this is one of my favorite ones, and I'm going to kind of set it up here. Me and Dustin and Tyler were there alone, and we were in the living room, and Tyler is trying to get an EVP, and he says you're going to have to use your big boy voice, and then you can hear. I think this is it. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've heard these, and then you can hear the voice say, "Is anybody there?" After he says that. Let me go ahead and pull this up and play it real quick. So that's pretty cut and dried there.
That's a pretty good EVP.
Really good one.
Yeah, that is a really good. That's probably one of my favorite ones from Ashley's house because it's so clear.
Well, what about the knock on the wall though? That's a pretty good one too.
Yeah. And by the way, we did not hear that. Is anybody there?
That's the really weird thing about Ashley's house is we would hear things and then the audio would catch something completely different.
Yeah, I know. Or we would hear something very loud and go back and listen, and it's not there at all.
At one point, we heard something that sounded like an audible thing, like somebody, like an EVP, like a vocal EVP. Then we played it back and it was replaced with snaps. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
It's like we all had something happened. We heard something and then we listened to the audio.
Now
it's weird snapping instead of.
And here's another really good one. And it may be that same dude we just heard that said it's anybody there. This is when we were on the stairs at Ashley's house. And you can hear what sounds like the old man here at Pythian Castle. And I know it's not. I'm not trying to connect those two dots at all. But here, let me just play it and you'll hear it.
We're listening. Stopping. Just now. Yep. Listen, kid.
Right there.
Who's that?
Yeah.
It sounds like.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Did you hear the demon dog
at the beginning.
Vomiting at the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. We've never figured that part out, but I am going to play it one more time here just so everybody can hear it again, and we'll point them out as they come this time.
We're listening. Stopping. Just now.
There.
Yep. Listen, kid.
There.
It's so bizarre. Now, I'm stopping it after the who's that. I should let it keep going because the conversation in the background continues after that. So instead of stopping it this time, I'm going to let the whole thing play. And after the who's that part, you can hear there's more like talking afterwards. And just to set it up a little bit, I was an idiot when we were there because I thought John was saying, let's listen to the recorders, because I heard something. But he was saying, shut up, I'm hearing something right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. That's why I start, rewinding a recorder to listen. So let's go ahead and play the whole thing through here this time.
Listening. Stopping. Just now. Yep. Listen, Chad. Hang on, we're listening. Wait, it's still going on. Listen. Is there a male voice out there? There is up here. Wait, not yet.
Yeah, that was me. It was you.
Yeah,
so
I'm hearing it the whole time, and everybody was just like doing their own thing.
I was rewinding because I thought you wanted to listen to what we just recorded. I didn't realize you were still hearing shit at that very moment until we listened back there. So that one is kind of it's beyond bizarre. I'm trying to look through these and see. It's interesting because Ashley's house does have an upstairs attic. It's above the living room, and while we were in the living room, we caught audio of someone walking around up there. Now it wasn't until we went up there and looked through the little hole where you can get into that attic crawl space that we realized that attic area isn't even tall enough for a person to stand.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like 3 feet high. I mean, you couldn't stand and walk up there no matter what. We could never explain, but this was recorded in the living room downstairs below the attic, which is directly above, and you can hear something walking around up there on this one.
Some will stay behind. That's walking upstairs. That is walking upstairs. What is right above us?
We didn't know at the time, but what's right above us is about a 3 foot high crawl space.
And remember when you and Ty were up there, you guys had said something, and there's audio of something saying behind you.
I do remember that. Yes, that's why I'm looking.
Have that, but
through.
It says like behind you or something like that.
I'm looking through to see. I'm just having to do this on the fly to see. It's going through these audio pieces because I was really looking for the one where Tyler was using the bathroom. If you're wondering where I'm looking, these are all on the website mwghosthunters.com. You can go on there and see the videos and hear all of this stuff that I'm playing for you right now. I'm just literally on the website, and I'm looking for this particular audio piece. Okay, here it is. So here it is. So just to I don't know if it's I'm not going to say to warn everybody, but just so everybody knows, you can hear Ty peeing in this video or in this audio piece.
So if there's any doctors that thinks his stream isn't strong enough, send us an email.
It sounds pretty strong. Sounds like a pretty strong stream.
Good thing nobody was in there and eating cross stream.
So anyway, what had happened? Crossing the stream. What had happened was we had heard stuff inside, and Tyler was like, I'm kind of freaked out, but I really got to pee. I'm going to go in and use the bathroom. He's like, was anybody else coming? I said, well, I'll come in too. So I came in too, and I was just standing in that area by the kitchen, between the front door and the kitchen. I was just standing there because he wanted another human presence in the house while he was going to the bathroom. So while he was in the bathroom, we had recorders going, and you could hear what sounded like something hit the house from the outside. Something hit the outside wall of the house is what I heard, and we caught it on our recorder here. And Tyler heard it, and he couldn't get out of that bathroom quick enough. So let's go ahead and play that one for you here.
I just about got scared. I want to be in here by myself. We'll just come out here by the door. No, that's good.
There's urine.
No, Tyler. No, I can't open it.
So Tyler thought it was a banging on his bathroom door. Maybe it was. I couldn't tell.
Was it not?
I thought he said he saw the hinge rattle or something.
He did. He said he saw the something on the door moving.
That's the kind of shit I'm going to do when I die and haunt people. I'm going to wait till they start.
Messages?
No, I'm going to wait till they start peeing and then bang on the door.
Manifest 7 years worth of power to do that.
Yeah, it takes me 15 years to gather the strength. That's worth it.
I'm going to keep looking through here because I wanted to hit some of these before we have Ashley on the podcast podcast next week because we're going to go back out there, and there's no telling what we'll find out there. I wanted to find the one where we heard the screeching sound whenever she was talking about, what we were talking about at the beginning there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Find it convenient that you've skipped over every snap, but that's okay. That's fine.
They're there. I can play the very first snapping audio that we ever caught.
I mean, we do have a listener that is into the snaps, too. You wouldn't want to avoid your
The snapping
audience,
was just so weird. It's just such a weird
That's
EVP.
why I like it, is it's so unique and different.
Is it still, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
it
it?
would be now. You said they were gone, or someone did.
What, the snaps?
Yeah.
If we get snapping when we're there, I'm just going to be so happy.
Well,
you will.
I'm pretty sure there will be snapping there because that's what I'm trying to find here. Is the very first snapping audio we ever caught. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here. So this is the first time we ever caught snapping, and boy, is it snapping. It's snapping like crazy.
Dude, I can't snap that hard.
And we didn't hear it.
I wish I could snap that hard.
Let me, in your dreams.
I can. It hurt.
Let's go ahead and play this and you can hear it. Then we'll break it down after.
I look best from the front. Why don't you shake your head? Because I'm 24. I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that yet. But I got it really good. I was definitely good. Yeah. How about you kill yourself? How about that? If I were to grow my hair out right here, you can probably see it where the hair grows. Right here would be nothing. Whoa! Hurt? Yeah. How about the front door?
Okay, so
that's not even the one I was thinking.
Well, this is one of those times where we heard something different.
I know, because you didn't respond to the snaps until like 3 seconds later.
I don't think. I think we heard something else by the front door. We heard like a bang or something. So I don't think we heard the snaps live there. I really don't. I can't remember, but I don't think we did.
I miss Herd. We need to bring Herd back.
But here's what we should probably point out on that one is you guys were talking about, we didn't realize this was going to be a piece that we would be airing for lots of other people to hear. We were just being stupid. You guys were you were making fun of Tyler's hairline, I think.
No, I was making fun of, he had already shaved it.
I don't think he had.
I don't think he had, because you said, why don't you shave your head?
And he said, because I'm 24 years old. And he said something like, why don't you just kill yourself?
Yeah,
which is just us being stupid. Because like I said, we didn't think this was going to be something we would have to air 100 times. But anyway, I'm going to keep moving through.
The fact that the audio caught that so well and it sounded so loud, like the sound like reverberated, like it echoed, but we didn't react.
We didn't hear it. I didn't hear any snaps.
Someone hit 2 drumsticks together like 3 times.
Maybe that's what it is. It's not snapping at all.
I remember when
I'm on Team Drumsticks.
Whatever it is.
I remember when Chris first told me, he said we've got to go back in there, and he said we heard snapping. I said, what do you mean you heard snapping?
Like femur snapping?
And he said there's all kinds of snapping at Ashley's house, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Because that was just so far off the radar, And
other things did happen there too. There's more snapping audio. But once you've heard one snap, you've heard them all.
There's a whole cast of characters in there.
But there were other, things that happened inside too. Excuse me.
I'd like to
drinking my coffee too
we need
fast.
to hire an artist and show him all this and be like, what do you think what makes this sound looks like? And it's like a little goblin in the corner.
Give us some character
an old
designs.
man.
That's one I am going to find before we wrap this up.
The sex ghost.
It's the screeching sound.
And then there's some guy walking around like snapping like the fawns. Snapping and pointing.
So here's a sound that happened inside the house while we were outside. You can hear the EMF detector. Is this the one? That's not the one. Well, we'll go ahead and play it anyway. This is one where our EMF detector on the stairs went off on its own. That's really all there is to that one. Is our EMF detector is kind of known for being very hard to get it to alarm. I mean, it can redline, but that for the alarm to go off, it's got to be a pretty significant EMF hit for it to go
I've
off.
seen it do from time to time just a random stray hit.
And we can usually find the source of that, whether it's a ceiling fan or a microwave or something.
That it is strange for it to go from nothing.
It's strange for it to go on, for 45 seconds like that. Here's another piece that happened. I don't know what this is. Sound like something fell over. This is also this was captured at the same time as the EMF detector was when we were outside. Something fell over. Who knows what? We were not in the house when that one happened either. I think this may be the very first. I can't remember. I should have quit saying that because I'm not sure which one is which. Let me just play this one. There is snapping in this one too, and we said maybe even a laugh. I don't know. I can't remember it. So let's just play this one real quick. Oh, that thing at the end. I remember that now.
Were we outside at this time?
We were outside at the time. It almost sounds like a dog or something, but there were no dogs there.
I was going to ask that.
No, there were no dogs. Ashley's house is just full. I mean, it's like we've said before, it's got a whole cast of characters, that are involved every time we go. And we've yet to go when there wasn't something happening. And you got to keep in mind, this was also back when we were doing our podcast on site. There for a while, we had this bright idea that we would, when we do an investigation, we would do the podcast concurrently. We would do a podcast from the investigation. But we realized after doing that 3 or 4 or 5 times that you really got to make a choice. So either you're doing an investigation or you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, because you do two things badly.
Yeah, because yes, you do 2 things terribly otherwise. Because we were at Ashley's house doing the podcast whenever Dustin got irritated. Remember, he was talking. He said something, and I said, "Where's your mic?" And he grabbed his mic. He's like, "Jesus Christ, we doing an investigation or a podcast?" It's like, well, we're doing both. That was
the best.
I don't remember what this one is, but I do want to play it. Let's see what we got here.
I think I hear the others coming in.
Okay, that's them coming in. They're coming in right now.
Listen, John, right here.
Yeah,
you hear it?
got it. Something's going on.
Okay. This is interesting because it seems like we're having to move from one room to the next.
So that was me and John upstairs. I remember that.
John, something's going on.
Something's
sounded
happening.
like someone fell and hurt their hip.
Did you? Yeah, it was the old man.
It sounded
again.
like someone yelled there too. Yeah, that's what we said in the description of this one. Something fell over, and then you can hear a shout in the background.
It was the old man. It sounded like
it does. It does sound like
hip replacement.
It's nuts that I don't have any of the growls on here. I don't know. Did they come off your recorder? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't have them.
Yeah, I don't know. They're somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find them.
So hopefully when we go back.
Yes, I did.
What happened?
You guys didn't hear that?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it. What happened?
Hunter and I both.
That was
looked at each other. You
wacky.
didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything, huh? But I was reading at the time too.
I can't even describe what that was.
Is
That
it a
was
vocal?
Weird.
Yeah, it sounded like
Kinda.
a female, exhale, weird vocal thing.
My kiddo is here with us today, so we're trying to make sure it's not her making the noise.
I mean, she's across the room though. She didn't have a mic.
It wasn't her.
I didn't hear it, so I can't say. Okay, so I wanted to play this one because this is when Ashley was describing. At the beginning, we had her stay to see if she could get anything riled up for us before she left, and she was kind of telling us some things she had experienced there, and that's what you were talking about at the beginning, Dustin. Whenever the impish gremlin type thing that she's describing, but in the background you can hear a screech, and that's what I wanted you to hear to see if it sounded like what you heard here. But I do want to play this. It happens about 27 seconds in. You'll hear the screeching sound in the back. So let's just go ahead and play the whole thing here.
Son, turn it off. I get here and I look because I saw something. The broom and the mop and everything were right next to the fridge. Saw this squatty, nasty, ugly looking. I don't know. It looked like a demon.
Right.
And it growled, and I hauled ass up the stairs.
Yeah,
I pounded on the bathroom door. My boyfriend at the time was taking a shower. He said, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. He unlocked the door. I was telling him about it, looked down the stairs, saw a 7-foot black mass.
Yep.
That was the screech right there. I can go to that
creepy, man.
spot.
I remember that being good, but I haven't heard it in years.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a long time either. Let me go to that spot.
Son, turn it off. I get here and I look because I saw something. The broom and the mop and everything were right next to the fridge. Saw this squatty, nasty, ugly looking.
You can hear the snaps there.
I don't know. It looked like a demon.
Right.
And it growled, and I hauled ass up the stairs.
Yeah,
I pounded on the bathroom door. My boyfriend at the time was taking a shower.
Coming up right
let me
here.
in, let me in, let me in. He unlocked the door. I was telling him about it. Looked down the
Right there. That was the pterodactyl screeching sound.
Pterodactyl or like a baby.
We heard that Tuesday down by the POW cells here.
Was it like that?
Huh?
Does it sound like that?
Yeah. Because I messaged Chris and I said it sounded like the screech from Ashley's house.
And we've caught that screech before, too. If you'll recall, we caught it at Barbara's house.
Willard, too. Yeah. The first Willard house.
I think it was it?
The Willard one was like an adult version of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was more pronounced.
And I'm going to play another one here.
That was just a baby demon pterodactyl.
Just hatched.
Ours was a fully grown.
that was a zygotic demon. Let's go ahead and play. I'm going to play this one here real quick. This has got some knocking sounds. Just trying to hit every different kind of sound we caught there.
John, Timmons hadn't been in here. Come over here. Come over here and see if you notice anything. Just all your senses on alert. Come slowly through. You smell that?
Yeah, I do.
That's sulfur.
I do smell that. It's real strong right here.
It is?
It's real strong. It is. Go ahead. You wasn't doing that before.
So the 4 knocks you heard there, we did not hear.
I think there was 5 knocks.
Or however many. Might have been 6.
No, it's 5.
I'm not convinced that wasn't just a stock sound effect. That was so clear.
Yeah. We didn't hear it, so we couldn't say exactly what it was or wasn't. There was one I thought we caught of Tyler, and let me go to the third trip we did there, because there was one of really good footsteps that we caught. You and Tyler, or Dustin, I think it was you and Tyler that heard it. Okay, yeah, here it is right here. Let me go ahead and play this one.
What was that? There it was. You hear that?
Who's walking right now?
Nobody. What?
Somebody's walking right in front of the door.
Somebody was walking.
That was Dustin and Tyler that heard that one.
I do believe John told me you had a recording of the bed squeaking too, and I have never heard that one.
That was on the second trip. Same. It was right in that same era.
Here's the sex ghost. Why do I have a button for the sex ghost instead of just a link?
You have a button?
Well, it's on the website. It's like a link.
The sex ghost on speed dial.
It's like
apparently.
Okay, I'm going to try to play it here from the beginning.
All right, listen what she says. Listen.
But the microphone is in the room and we are outside the room.
Did you just hear what she said?
It's very quick.
What'd she say, Chris?
I'm not saying that nonsense. That 70s love connection lingo. Making whoopee nonsense.
Whoa, what? I'm being honest. What did we think it said?
She says, "Make love to me."
That's what we think.
Oh,
I'll play it again so you can kind of determine.
But Chris
yourself.
won't say it.
I hate that phrase. That's stupid. Let me do it again here. Hang on.
But the microphone is in the room and we are outside the room.
Yeah, okay. I hear it.
Yeah.
Heard it that time.
Yeah, the reason why that I remember this so much is because I asked Chris, we had like this long, drawn-out thing, and I said, hey, is it possible, because when we were doing this podcast setup, I had this like elaborate deal going on where we had mics upstairs and downstairs, and I had the whole house mic'd, and I thought it would be brilliant to run them all together and not separate the channels, which it was to create one master mix, but you can't track where anything's at. And so I thought that this was this Ty and Bobby downstairs. And Chris is like, what do you think it says? What do you think it says? And so I tell him, he's like, oh, hell no, it's not them doing that.
It wasn't for sure.
No.
No. Yeah. So, and then we did catch like let me look here really quickly.
There was a bed squeaking.
There was a bed squeaking, and I think that was on the third time, wasn't it?
Yeah, same time the sex ghost hit.
The sex ghost hit. Let me go to the link here and look. I mean, I've vastly improved our website, audio playing from where it was, where I've embedded most of the audio. For some reason, I must have just got tired one night and it's like, fuck it, I'm putting a button. I put a button link to SoundCloud on that one for some bizarre reason. Look, I don't know where that one would be. The bed, you say it was on the second time?
It was the same time that we had the sex ghost, because I sent you both of those audio. I said, we've got a sex ghost. And he said, what?
We got a sex ghost on our hands.
I told him, I said, we have a sex ghost.
That's what I'm looking for here is bed creaking, or I just can't find it. I did find another vocal that we could play here, but I can't find the bed creaking audio. It's like the growls, which were like amazing. I don't know where they are. I don't have them. We played them on the old podcast 100 times.
They're not on the website.
We played them on the new. We played them here. at Pythian Castle.
We've never played them here because I don't have them. I've been looking for them for 3 years.
We played them from some source here.
If we played them from here, then we pulled them off the old podcast because that's the only way. And I've tried to pull up the old podcast. It says unavailable to play or something like that every time I try to play it. So I can't even pull up the old podcast to do like an audio grab. That's what I want to do.
All those that I gave you?
All what?
Those monster amount of them I gave you that time?
On a zip drive? Mm-hmm. I'll have to look and see. I know there's a lot of podcasts on there. I thought I would just be able to, because you can look up our old podcast. It's still there. And even the individual episodes pop up. But when you click on one, it says unavailable or something. So we've definitely got to find those. Let me play one more here before we wrap up here.
My hearing's not great. I heard over and over.
I heard it. It's very unusual.
Whoa.
There.
Is this me?
No.
That was in there.
Yes. It was right. I mean, it was right here.
The stressor, it's right.
Yeah.
Don't even need to play that one again. It's just another vocal we caught. I know we did catch a bed creaking, but I can't find it. So some of these have disappeared, and I don't know how or where they've gone. They're still out there and available for us to grab, but it's just going to take a little more work to get to them. But anyway, that kind of hits the high spots on Ashley's house. There's a lot more. You can find it all at mwghosthunters.com. Next week, we're going to get Ashley on the phone and have her on the podcast because she wants us to come back, and she's going to kind of go over some of the stuff that's been happening there since we've been. And kind of give us an overview of what we can expect when we get out there, and we'll do that next week.
For Dark Matter next week from Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri with Midwest Ghost Hunters.